Hey, what's up, guys? This is Oakley, and we're doing another siege. This is the siege of Tulifurdum. Very, very cool barbarian settlement. I think this is one of the ones that came with the Caesar and Gaul sort of zoom in on the Gallic campaign. So the battle map has some new settlements. Obviously, this isn't anything new, but at the time it was. This is something I don't think you can get from base vanilla. But anyways, suffice to say, the settlement itself that we're going to be assaulting is really, really cool. So what we have here is a Spartan army combined with my Thracian army, the Odrysian kingdom, and we're going to be assaulting this barbarian settlement. However, within the barbarian settlement is going to be not necessarily a barbarian force. It's going to be Carthaginian and Athenian guys on the inside, so an interesting mix. But anyways, the reason I like this type of siege is look at how it's constructed. Multiple layers, lots of different approaches. So I have, let's pop on the HUD real quick. The overhead, you can see there's a bunch of different approaches. We have Thracian warriors getting ready to ford the river, attack this big wall stretch so we can attack from there. The north side we're attacking as well. The rear we have 2 siege towers, and then over here where I'm positioning all my guys is this awesome kind of attackers platform place to come and set up. I really like the details in here. This almost looks like something you'd see in Total War Arena. But this is the kind of attention to detail that I really appreciate on the battle maps. It really brings it to life, especially for a siege. So these towers are coming in here, and they are massive. I mean, they're building basically taller than the watchtowers next to them here, taller than the structures right there. So this is meant to take out cities. So here come my guys pushing these giant siege engines into place, and this is where we're going to be moving up to deploy this nice open ground. And this is how we're going to bombard the city itself. In the distance, like I said, we have a couple towers waiting to make the approach. In every one of my sieges, I'm very cautious in when I assault, and so I want to make sure I have ample cover to do so. The Spartan forces are going to be pressing forward on this side. We want to make sure that we're going to be assaulting on all fronts. You never really want to concentrate your forces too much in a siege, get bottlenecked up, mostly because even just a couple units can stall your entire force, and once you're stalled, well, then the arrow towers do their damage. But again, look how beautiful this settlement is. This approach to the little gate guarding the city is just really cool. So the Spartans are going to be preparing their assault through here. If we continue to circle around the rear, there's not much in the way of attackable areas for the settlement until you get finally to the back in this position, which is why I have 2 of my Odrysian or Thracian warriors actually prepared to move up here. Now I'd imagine this is a little hard to navigate with the siege tower, so we're going to be rumbling over steamrolling essentially these little saplings. If this were real life, what the Romans probably in a siege would have done is created a flattened ramp through here. Then what they would have done is created basically places where they would drive a tether or something into the ground here. A rope would then be kind of strung from that siege tower up to here and then loop back down. So when you're pulling at the bottom, you can then kind of drag these siege engines to the top, because you can imagine the tendency for these guys is to be super, super heavy and roll back down the hill. So getting these siege towers was, something that would take a matter of days to move this distance. Sieges were quite the interesting scenarios. Looks like I've finally gotten my artillery position up and ready. I don't think we're going to be firing just yet. Now we're going to be starting to target the opponents, and this is really cool platform. You could tell that I already have some nice angles into the city. Angles into the city was an important feature back in the day of sieges. It was all about having a height advantage. So obviously the defender initially has that advantage with their fortifications. And so what the attackers would do is come up here, build a siege ramp, and then start building their own kind of siege towers and kind of place them from here. And from this vantage point, you could have archers, scorpions, other units to suppress the wall. Once the wall was suppressed, that would allow you to then start moving up more siege work, start boring through the walls, chipping away at it, and even bringing up ladders. So, if the defender was building up more and more height, say the defender got up here, say the attacker built up fortifications or attack fortifications that were up to this height, then what the defender would oftentimes do would be to build their own wall even higher. This happened a lot of times, especially we get a lot of writings about this from I believe it's Josephus during the Judean War, Siege of Masada and things like that, and Siege of Jerusalem, where you have a lot of these long-winded back and forth moves from the attacker and defender when it comes to fortifying or redoubling your efforts when it comes to attacking or defending. So really cool stuff. I hope to do video coverage of that in the future. Right now we are just spanking the hell out of this wall here with our artillery batteries. Looks like it's, yeah, at 52 damage, so this is going to start to come in. We are now going to get some visibility into the defensive network of our opponents. And they have these streets lined with pikemen, mercenary noble fighters vetted up to silver. So this is going to be a tough nut to crack. Spartans are going to start pouring forward. But like I said, they're going to be taking fire from these siege towers, which are in the Athenians' hand. Looks like they had a lot of Cretan archers here, with only a couple kills apiece, so it's a good thing we're forcing them back. A lot of traps through here, but at least it's going to allow us to claim these initial positions and move in with a lot of Spartan hoplites. So once we have these arrow towers, we should be pretty good. Although the Athenians have this awesome overlooking position. Again, why I really love these types of sieges. I mean, how could you ask for a better defensive position? A small, narrow causeway like this, where you can put pikes, swords, and archers on the side. I mean, this is incredible. This is something you'd expect from a dwarven crack of sorts. So this is going to be very hard for us to push through. The tower up here actually being out of the capturable range for our guys, so this is not good. This is an ideal position where they could even move some of their archers over here. So that is not probably going to go very well for us. And they even have some more archers. Holy crap, they're showering down on the Spartan position. Let's actually watch this a little bit. See the arrows sprinkling on. So this is definitely a death trap. So like I said, that's why you don't put all your eggs in one basket when it comes to assaulting positions. But now we have absolutely thrashed this location here. The battering ram is at the gates. Spartan hoplites are pushing forward, and then now we're sending the majority of our guys up. Spartans through the front, Thracian warriors up on this ladder. It's now going to be swarming. And a lot of suppressive fire actually coming in from my my artillery crew in the distance. And yep, like I said, with the line of sight, we are even with this defensive hill position just because I was able to get my guys up over there. So now this huge force is going to pull back behind the pike wall, which is obviously the bane of any attacker's plan. But look at what's coming in at these guys. And, you know, they are so dense, the defenders here, which is good for them to hold out, but it means we're going to get some pretty easy kills. And now that we've seized the towers, it's going to be chipping away at these pikes. That is not the only place we're pushing forward. We've actually been able to blast a hole through this position. All of my guys are coming swarming in here. A lot of Thracian slingers and whatnot. So this is going to be devastating for them. Speaking of devastating, look at the Libyan infantry taking huge hits. The peltas as well. We're going to start clearing out these positions. Some of the Cretan archers are caught a little bit exposed. And this is where I'm going to start an assault with my siege towers to hit this position in the flank. Push into the back of this choke point. The Spartans somehow managing to just clobber their way through, pull through the pike line. Extremely brave of them. However, archers in the distance having a free-for-all against these Spartans. But I am amazed that they were able to push through these pikes. I don't know how that happened. Took tremendous losses, obviously, but now they have the flank. And look at them charging into the side of these pikes. The enemy is not going to suffer this to happen. So here they go, closing ranks. And they're going to shred that one Spartan unit. The rest of the Spartans going to be moving up. Hyper aggressive in this assault. But the pikes are making a retreat, so it looks like we're going to get a massive charge up through the center. Let's watch this face off. This is really epic stuff. Here you go. A Thermopylae almost within the settlement, but it is the Spartans that are going to be the ones attacking. And this is exactly the type of engagement we want. We want to be aggressive. We want to be fighting against, you know, swords in this position where the hoplites, especially the Spartan hoplites, can get their armor-piercing blows in and start killing the opponents. We don't want to be facing off against pikes. So if these pikes start moving up, which it looks like they are threatening to do, this could be devastating for us. But like I said, that is just one facet of our assault. We're pushing it on that flank. Over here, we're continuing to move forward. In this position, the enemy tried to charge with Noble Cav. Let's see how many kills they got. 14 kills against my guys. I siege the tower. This is mostly against Thracian Peltas and Thracian Nobles, so I should be doing pretty well. The Peltas, Thracian Peltas especially, have good melee stats, so they're going to be able to clean up this Cav. And now that we hold this position, what we can do is start pushing forward and trying to get around the flank of this force here that has been stagnant, holding with the African pikemen, holding with the archers, pinning our guys, but the Spartan hoplites are eating those shots like champs. The flanking maneuvers coming from the Thracian warriors through there and also up through the tower here. I have a bunch of Thracian Peltas and nobles waiting to come in here. Here come my warriors. We're going to be greeted by enemy forces on all sides. So let's see if the Ramphia here can charge and cut through some of these guys. A bit of a clumsy assault. Looks like they're going to get some of their... Yep. They're going to get most of their guys to face our way, but thankfully they don't get the javelin volleys off. That would be devastating. My guys have no real shields or defensive blocking chance to speak of, so this is going to be a bloody fight for the walls. Especially with this towers to suppress. And here's another position. My guy's opening up that gate. This is beautiful. So here comes this assault. Trying to clear out these walls. Thorax swordsmen here with a lot of veterancy. They're going to be forcing our guys back. We were losing pretty significant numbers, down to half strength on that first unit. The second unit is going to drop pretty precipitously. So it looks like the enemy has decided to commit some forces into the mix. These are Libyan warriors against Thracian nobles. So they're going to be doing okay in that endeavor. But again, Peltas in the flank is going to start forcing the enemy back. So the enemy is retreating. My slingers there exchanging with the mercenary Cretan archers, who are going to start just destroying my guys here. Picking them apart, so it's a matter of time. I really need to chew through this flank here, which is definitely happening handedly. Now we have all our archers pulled up to the front. So now it's going to be opposing pike and hoplite walls staring off at each other, and the archers doing their work. But like I said before, in this scenario we have the towers helping us out, and it looks like most of our archers are actually going to be doing a really good move, which is going to be targeting the enemy general here, opening up that possibility for us to then charge through here, kill these guys, and start hitting the back of this formation. The Spartans are here to contend with the Thorax swordsmen, absorbing a lot of fire, and here comes my flank. Meanwhile, in this position, some Scorpions are repositioned to try and suppress my guys, but down through the front, the Spartans have been crushed in their assault. The enemy's going to be doing their own counter assault with some archers which have been pulled back, and I think that victory can be, owed up to the pike wall here. So in the close confines, pike is going to beat hoplite, and so we only have a couple guys left. But I think once the terrain opens up a little bit more in this position, we can get perhaps a flank on those guys. And as always, the tower is going to be helping out. But it's, in the end, going to be distracting a fair amount of the enemy from the main pushes, which is going to be over here. Finally cleaned up these swordsmen. This huge archer blob is continuing to fire upon us, which is not good. So I'm going to be sending some slingers to just tie them up, and a couple Thracian nobles to tie them up. Over here, you can see my guys get absolutely just bushwhacked, just wrecked. This is what happens when you only have 2 units to attack, so that was completely thrashed. The remainder of my guys not willing to commit to this engagement just yet. I wanted to hold out. Archers are going to be pulling back. That means I can force them away from this engagement, which has now opened up the ability for more Thracian nobles to pour into the city, and now we're really going to start to threaten this. Take a look at this. Thracian warriors getting into the back of this Thorax swordsman unit, so only one blob is left, and actually I'm walking some of my hoplites along the parapet just to get around the defenders, making it look easy to get around the defenses. So here we go. I'm just going to completely bypass these guys, wondering why the Spartans are in that conflict when I can just walk right on through. And once I'm in this position, I believe I'm going to give an attack order onto this force, because now we're getting hit by these guys with their javelins. Up top, his guys are trying to chase my men. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set the balls on fire with the last few remaining guys. You can see my dude here trying to light it on fire. And I was really hoping to get some off. If I could, it would have destroyed this entire blob of dudes. So they were actually able to keep me from setting most of the fireballs alight. Had I been able to, this would have been a ridiculous number of kills. But they've reclaimed this position. My archer charge against these guys was killed, so this is not looking too good for us. We really need to clean this up. So the pike wall still remains. My Thracian Peltas are engaged against Libyan infantry. They're going to win that fight pretty handily, but this dam is about to burst. All archer fire, tower fire is going to break this, and then we can clean up this formation. Over here, I finally pulled my mercenary hoplites through this position. So the units here are also going to start to break. This is going to allow us to flood into the city and start to get at these positions, perhaps even free up the Spartans, which seem like they actually somehow crushed through this pikeman force, probably because we got it out of position. But the Spartans are actually getting a nice little pickup of victory here. So one unit is going to stay and fight with the pikes. No, they're going to disengage from that fight. It's a good move. The rest of the unit here is going to actually chase after some of these archers, so we're closing in on the enemy force. Thracian nobles getting in on the Libyan infantry to help tie that down. A counter assault on this part of the map is going to be dangerous. Thracian slinger is going down, so they're going to be 2v1ing my Thracian noble general. However, the good thing about him is he is very well rested, whereas the enemy is just tired. I was scared of more units kind of running in to help kill my general. So what I was going to do is send an assault force up to this position just to keep the enemy away. So one of my Thracian nobles already at half strength, losing so many men in that assault, trying to take out these thorax swordsmen. The other unit here, Thracian Pelta, is going to try and kill these mercenary Cretan archers, and the other force sent around this flank to try and relieve my general. So I was able to clean up one of these thorax swordsmen. Charge in the back, however, is going to be a real problem for me. So I pop battle rhythm, headhunt, and then I'm going to pop second wind just to keep my guy alive, but there is a lot being thrown into this fight. The general here is going to be throwing himself into the fight as well. Looks like the pike wall still stands. It is now one man thick. And some of the archers, I believe, ran out of ammo, so they decided to just charge us. That is going to be pretty foolhardy when you're dealing with some of the... oh no, this is Libyan infantry, but still just as foolhardy. Holy crap. Did you see that kill animation? He just tackled that guy and stabbed him through the face. Pretty absurd. So now we're going to be steamrolling this. Somehow this force still holding up pretty handily. Man, these thorax swords are pretty strong. We're still not able to break through this. So it looks like we're going to really need to push through this position, which is what's going to happen here. Holy crap, here it comes. The Spartan pushed through the pikes. And we still have some archers left, and now they're going to retarget this pike line. So now visible gaps are opening up. This is going to be it. Meanwhile, over here, the Carthaginians have superly overwhelmed my Thracian nobles, which is going to be dangerous for me. My general got a lot of kills, 214 kills. He's still alive. He pulled out of the fight against the pick hoplites. I threw in some Thracian peltas to distract that force, so he's going to be pulling back to the safety of the tower. And then I have some fresh Thracian peltas here, hopefully going to help turn the tides in that fight, try and kill the enemy general. This is a good position to be in. The enemy force, pretty much realizing this, is going to try and reform with the shield wall. Ooh, looks like a couple of those flaming balls got off. My guys over here actually charging the archers and setting those off, so I got a nice couple kills on them, and we actually were able to claim this position, overwhelmed it finally with another group of Thracian nobles. So it's been a bloodbath through here. Pick hoplite down to 24 men. The general is in and amongst these guys, but I don't think he will be alive much longer. His days are definitely numbered. And there you go. The Athenian general has fallen. He is absolutely shattered at that point. So the army here is in full retreat. Having lost the general, the Carthaginians are going to try to reform. I believe they still have their general alive. But they need to really make way, because here come some of my Falksmen, saving my cheap guys for just assaulting like this. And I have another rank of more elite troops waiting behind them. Man, that looks badass. So my guys waiting for the Falksmen to do their early work, absorb the enemy damage, and then now we're going to be able to charge in. They got 28 kills. That's okay for cheap Falksman units. Now I can start to push in. Over here we've cleared out the back. No, this is still somehow alive. The remainder of the Athenian defense still holding strong, but we have enough to start killing that. We're going to be going for the main assault here. And finally we have some pikes of our own. Spartan pikemen. We're going to give the enemy a taste of their own medicine. Pikes on the assault in a siege are always really fun to see. So here it goes. Coming to point blank range, and then they're going to be dropping their pikes. Really freaking cool stuff. So there you have it. That is going to be our push through here. So I'm saving my Thracian nobles and other high value units for the final crush that we're going to need to break through a couple isolated units like these back through here. They were very eager to kill my general, so my Thracian noble pulled out. You can see he's still fresh. I've been popping second wind on him, so he's trying to save himself, whereas the enemy is really tired. So I'm not going to, threaten to lose my general. I'm going to pull him back to the safety over here, allow this tower to continue to do work while our own Spartan pikemen break through here, and we finally try and clean up the remainder of the enemy force. At the same time, I still have one group of Thracian Peltas, and they're going to be going for the victory point here, left virtually unattended. So this is going to be a bit of a ninja cap, but look at everything they had to wade through finally to make this assault. Definitely very costly. The enemy knows that this is going to be a make or break moment for them, so they're going to be pulling back with some of their Libyan infantry, trying to fall back to last position. These guys coming back as well. My Thracian nobles are going to threaten these guys. They have high charge bonus, so I can destroy his units if they get engaged. And now, just like I said, gonna give the enemy a taste of their own medicine. We're gonna use our pikemen to block out the enemy from coming back into their own settlement. That is brutal. So here they are stuck. You can see the tower actually still ours in the back, shooting at these guys, these noble fighters. They don't know what to do. That is brutal. So while we've been able to block those guys from pushing forward, oh, actually they charge us in the back, some Libyan infantry. Oh no, don't do it. This is heroic but suicidal. These noble fighters don't have the best of armor, so here we're gonna watch them actually start to get slaughtered. Spartan reinforcements in the back gonna help, plug in any gaps that may have been made. Really epic stuff. Carthage is faltering, and somehow the Spartans are still fighting. This is an absurd battle, probably because these guys aren't given really loose formation attack, or sorry, they probably still have formation attack on, so I'm guessing this entire time they've kind of been standing there, so not making much progress. Enemy archers still pretty healthy in terms of the ammo. But at the end of the day, this is not where they want to be using that ammo. They would much rather be using it on our more important guys, making a push for the cap. So, bloody losses all around, but I think we pulled off a nice little victory here. More of our guys are going to be pushing up to the top to grab this victory point, where I currently have some Thracian Peltas up here enjoying the fresh air, enjoying the view of a well-earned victory. So there you have it. Settlement is now ours. Somehow it's now a Spartan banner being raised despite the Adrusian kingdom putting in the lion's share of the kills and the assault work being done. You saw I attacked here, here, and up to the center, and over here. Admittedly, Sparta kind of just attacked in two positions here and here, but those were still pretty significant. I mean, look how much the enemy had to commit to destroy our assault here. Look, this looks like a World War I battlefield with all these craters around. So yeah, again, this siege is Tulifurdum. I recommend you check it out. It has some really cool, intricate details to it that make it really fun for an attack and defend. I love these overlooking platforms, stuff like that. The asymmetry is really cool, and it's something I'm hoping to see in Warhammer. You can just imagine a kind of an empire city like this, and then you throw in the ability of, you know, flying dragons to come in here, land on the high ground, and start attacking the archers. You can get some really cool stuff. So I really hope that Warhammer Sieges will have this type of variety, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. So while the victory clock counts down, we're going to be charging in with our Thracian nobles. Now we're going to start to get the crescendo of morale, turning against our opponent. One unit is going to break after another, and it looks like, I actually wonder where they're going to be running off to. They don't quite know, but that's it. The archer is still holding strong, and this battle was still raging on. So let's go ahead and end the replay. Let's take a look at some of those final stats here. Actually, it looks like Sparta did a fairly good job. 1,000 kills, myself only getting 1,500. Yeah, everyone actually coming out with even numbers of kills overall, but the advantage goes to the attacker in that case because we have more men to deploy. So for Sparta, Heroes of Sparta doing okay. Most of the killing actually happening with the Perioikoi here. A couple select Spartan hoplites, and actually his archers doing work. My own units here, definitely owe it to my Thracian nobles and some of my skirmishers. Even the artillery piece in the beginning, you saw it shredding the opponents, doing a pretty fair amount of damage. Even Falksmen here, cheap units doing a good amount of work. Thracian warriors just got destroyed on the assault, so those guys weren't super good. For Athens, ooh, the Scorpion unit, actually I think that's what did a lot of work suppressing that Spartan assault through the pass. They got a lot of kills, archers doing a lot. Swordsman, I think, was the real killer here, so that was a good job. They could have probably benefited from a couple more. The pikemen probably would have had more kills, but we just decided not to engage them. Let's see, actually, yeah. So over here, again, kind of same story. Most of the kills going to the skirmishers and the swordsmen. So, yeah, definitely very fun. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. Peace out.